Hello YouTube, welcome to the channel. Now then, why are we staring at a blank polystyrene box? Well, in this box is a Wltoys F949, which is basically an RC model of a Cessna 182 plane. Now I was on AliExpress the other day, which is an extremely dangerous thing to do, and I bought this for 32 quid, which I thought was an absolute bargain. They've got a bit of a sale on at the moment with RC bits and pieces, and at the time of making this video, there's actually a website, a store on AliExpress selling these for 27 quid, which is just absolutely ridiculous. I will leave a link in the description to it, but obviously by the time you see this video, that might have changed. But I thought, you know, for 32 quid, I'm going to take a pop, see what this thing is like, see if it's any good. I mean, because at 32 quid, this is an extremely, if it works and flies, this is an extremely cheap RC plane. Anyway, enough of staring at a blank polystyrene box. Let's crack this thing open and see what we get. Well, we can probably do this on the desk. Partly the reason for this thing's cheapness is there's no retail packaging. It just comes in a polystyrene box, but it is an actual Wltoys product. Anyway, let's have a quick scan, see what we get inside. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, almost broke the top wing already. We get a set of instructions with a spare piece of sticky tape there. We get what looks like a USB battery charger, some spare props, some landing gear in there. We get the top wing, which just basically fits on screws to the top of the plane, I presume. We get the body of the aircraft itself, the little Cessna 182. Feels quite heavy actually in the nose, and the battery should be in here. I'm no expert with planes, as you'll probably find out later on in the video. We get a little LiPo battery there. I can't read what that says, but 3.7 volt, 3.7 volts. 3.7 volts. So that lives in there. We get, there's the transmitter, sorry, the receiver board, all little servos inside. Apparently, and I think it might be correct, you probably can't tell there, well, you might be able to actually, but this thing has got 3 motors that spin this propeller, supposed to give it a bit more oomph. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but yes, there are definitely 3 little pinion gears on the prop pinion. And last but not least, we've got, come here you, we've got the actual transmitter. Feels quite cheap and nasty. Oh, it does feel quite cheap and nasty, but this thing is only 32 quid and 27 quid if you play your cards right. Anyway, I'll have a quick look at the instructions, put the wing on, see what happens. Right, while I'm waiting for the battery to charge up, I've assembled the aircraft. It's dead easy. All we do is affix the top wing with 1 screw there basically and shove the landing gear on. Now these just slot into some little cutouts on the bottom of the fuselage. I am actually going to remove these for when I actually fly over the fields, because in my experience these tend to catch on the grass anyway and disappear, so we may as well take them out and use it sort of gear up if you like. Now then, when I bought this plane, I didn't realise, but it is actually only 3 channels. So I should have read the advert, I know. So the 3 channels consist of the throttle, we've got a rudder and elevators, but we've got no roll control on this. There's no, is it ailerons? I always get mixed up between elevators and ailerons. We've got no ailerons, so we've got no roll control. So I'm not 100% sure how this thing is going to function and turn really without that, but it obviously does. But on the transmitter, it's actually quite cool, this thing. I'll keep flying. Oh, there you go. All the information is displayed on this little LCD display here, and as we move all the control sticks around, it visually tells you on the display. I mean, not that you can see it, I mean your eyes will be better than mine, because obviously when you're flying this thing you're not looking at that, are you? Looking at the plane, but everything is displayed there, which is fairly neat. But like I say, we've got no real roll control, so it's going to be interesting to see how this thing flies or doesn't. We've obviously got these little bits here, and these do actually adjust all the trim for all the controls. It does say in the manual you can press them once until you get a beep like that, and they will give you an increased amount of control. Not sure how that works. We'll have to find out, or whether it's true. But the instructions are a little bit scant and not very intuitive at all. But anyway, like I say, I'm just waiting for the battery to charge up. Right, battery's fully charged. Didn't take long at all. I thought we'd try this thing on the desk first before we take it out and try and fly it, make sure everything works. As soon as you touch the throttle, that activates all the gyros in the plane, so everything sort of springs to life. But throttle, check. If we turn him round, you can hear those gyros working, trying to keep this thing level and fly straight. All the control surfaces seem to work, etc. Instructions are a little bit scant, but it is fairly straightforward, this. So hopefully we can have no nasty surprises. But everything seems to be working as it should. We'll pick a day or a time when there's not too much wind, because it's only a very light aircraft, this, so it'll, they are greatly affected by the wind. Anyway, we're going to try it. Right then, we're outside. It's a little bit blustery, but it is what it is. Let's see if this thing will fly. Now you have to air launch this with about 80% throttle. So anyway, here goes. See what happens. Okay. Oh, failed first attempt. Right, let's try again. Okay, it's a little bit more promising. Oh. Right, let's try again. Oh, no, I cannot get the nose of the aircraft to point up at all, even though I'm adjusting the elevator. Doesn't seem to want to know. Right, fortunately the wind is getting up at the moment, but I think it was the battery. I've got another one of these little batteries that's fully charged, so I think it was the battery. But let's try again. Oh, that's better. Oh, now we're flying. Okay, I mean, it is quite blustery. I wouldn't normally take this thing out, but it is very, very, but you can see what sort of a tailwind we've got. I mean, it is way, I mean, it's whoa. It is fairly easy to it is fairly easy to control. That's what I was going to say. Anyway, right, let's try again. Off we go. Whoa! Look, the gyros doing their thing there. I mean, it is easy to fly. There's no doubt about it. It is struggling when it comes into the wind, but I'm a complete novice, with aircraft. Oh, anything that flies really, and within a couple of minutes, we're flying something like this. It's really fighting the wind there. On a calmer day, I can imagine this thing is a lot nicer to fly, but it's doing a superb job really. Let's see if I can get it to. Wow. Da 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 da. I hope you're getting all of this on the cap cam. Considering we haven't got any sort of roll control, it seems to be doing all right. I was a bit worried that it wouldn't be manoeuvrable at all. It's very docile, as you want in a beginner plane really. For me, it's absolutely excellent. I mean, if you were a more experienced flyer, you'd probably want a little bit more control, but this is absolutely bang on for somebody like me. Like I say, I've got very, very little experience with aircraft, as you can probably tell. But you know, I'm flying it. It's doing most of the work, granted. But I'm enjoying myself, and that's the main thing. What you don't want is to get into a hobby where you continually fail. So this is a nice start, really. You can have something like this and make a decent job of it straight away, and then when you sort of gain a bit of confidence, move to something that's a little bit more challenging. It's an absolute joy, this thing. Oh, he says. I'm keeping my gob shut next time. Every time I say something, I crash it. Right, let's go. I think a few more circuits and that's it. The wind's getting up here, and it's not fair on this thing. It's really having to fight to control itself. But anyway, off we go again. Whoa! Oh my goodness me! Don't know what I'm there. Gyro had a dicky fit. It's really having to battle this blustery weather. I suppose that's the only downside of having something so light. Is it really, you really have to fight with the wind constantly. Let's see if we can land him. Whee! Boink! Cool! Right then, back inside. What do you think of the little Wltoys F949 Cessna? Well, it's normal at this point that I go through some pros and cons with you. Stuff I liked, stuff I didn't like. I'm going to be honest with you, I can't think of anything I don't like about this little plane. It did exactly what it was supposed to do. The only thing, only misgiving I might have is if you're a little bit more experienced with RC aircraft. Perhaps this is a little bit basic for you. The gyros and the controls are possibly a little bit more intrusive than you'd like. But from a novice's standpoint, I really haven't got a bad word to say against this thing. The conditions it flew in were quite challenging. I must admit, I didn't think it was going to perform as well as it did. Once I'd put a decent battery in it, the battery that wasn't charged, by the way, actually belongs to me. It's not come out of the kit, so like I say, once I put a fully charged battery in, away she went. It flew really well, despite not having, what I thought would hamper it, any roll, any sort of aileron control. But it flew really well. In those conditions were quite challenging. This thing is only light, under 250 grams. So, I mean, that's another plus point. You don't need any funny licenses here in the UK to fly this. So you can just literally take it out of the box and fly it around. But I haven't got a bad word to say against it. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. It's fun to fly. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. So, conclusion time, would I recommend the little Wltoys F949? I'm going to say absolutely yes. If you are new to RC aircraft, before, this will allow you to dip your toe in the water for under sort of 40 quid. I mean, like I say, I've seen these for 27 quid on Wltoys on AliExpress at the moment. If you know where to look, it's an absolute bargain. I mean, if you like, I would wholeheartedly recommend any RC enthusiast have a go with flying a little plane like this. It is genuinely good fun, as was the helicopter I tried the other week, even though I did break it. But yeah, I wholeheartedly recommend anybody out there have a go at this. It's cheap, fun, and it sort of dips your toe in the water into RC flight, and you never know where things might go from there. As ever, I will leave a link in the description to where you can go and get this little plane from. I will leave a link to where I got it, and I'll see if I can find a link to the place that was doing it for 27 quid on AliExpress. If you've enjoyed the video and you found it of some use and interest, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you're feeling that way inclined, hit that subscribe button. It makes a huge difference from the channel, to the channel, I should say. Anyway, once again, guys, thanks for watching. And I'll catch you again very soon. Thank you.